How's it going, team Art of Fitness OC here, Coach Arturo. I'm gonna go ahead and run you through, guys, my favorite overall static stretches to help release any type of tension, specifically all over the body. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through over some stretches. Now each stretch you're gonna hold for about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how tight you are. Now for the sake of time and not to bore you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it pretty short, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Then I'll transition to the other exercise. But the main thing is we want to just go ahead and target all the range of motion and different planes of our muscle movement, and just to help, release any type of, tightness or knots that comes with, everyday posture, lifting, putting stuff down as far as like in the gym or at work. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one I'm gonna go ahead and go over is, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the spine and the back. A lot of people have issues with this. So my favorite to go to exercise is the cat and cow pose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go for 5 repetitions of each. So we're gonna go ahead and have our hands underneath our shoulders, hips underneath the knees, right, or over the knees. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a deep breath in as I go ahead and go up. Round my back as much as I can, pushing my upper back towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna go ahead and exhale. And as I exhale, I'm gonna look up towards the ceiling. Arch my back, and I'm gonna repeat that 4 more times. So I'm gonna deep breath in, tuck in my chin as I breathe in. Round the back, tuck in the glutes a little bit. Two more. One more. I'm gonna transition into the child's pose to the cobra. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my hips back, reach up high as I can, really reaching with the fingers, bringing my butt all the way down. And from here, I'm gonna transition into cobra. So I'm gonna go ahead and glide my body forward, toes down, drive my hips into the floor, spread out my chest. And I'm gonna do it one more time. Child's pose. Stretching those lats, bringing the butt to the heels of the shoe. Back into the cobra, stretching out the hip flexors, spreading out the chest. Look up. I'm gonna go ahead and do 3, but do as needed. If you need to pause the video, you can. From here, I'm gonna go ahead and transition into the hamstrings. So we're gonna keep it simple, okay? Move the mic a little bit. Keep it simple. Now on this one, the key is you wanna keep the toes pointed up, and we're just gonna go ahead and reach straight forward. You want to drive as far down as you can. Now I'm pretty tight right now. I've been doing a lot of computer work, so my hamstrings are tight because I've been sitting. And then I'm going to go ahead and come up. And I'm going to do 2 more of those, trying to reach forward as much as I can. And in between each rep, I try to go ahead and hold it for about 15 seconds. One more. As I said, I am going a little bit faster for this video because we got a lot of exercises that I want to go ahead and cover. Probably, I would say about maybe like 6 or 8 of these. Once we're done there, we're gonna go to the hip flexor. So we're gonna place one knee on the floor, okay? The other foot flat, just underneath the knee, okay? I'm gonna reach up high and I'm gonna tuck my butt in, so I'm gonna scoop it so that way that hip flexor is straight, and I'm gonna push and drive my hip forward to stretch out that hip flexor. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna reach up towards the ceiling. Hold it for about 15 seconds or so, and then bring it back. And then bring it back forward. That's to stretch out those hip flexors, so you're gonna feel it right on the front part of the hip bone as you scoop up that glute and you're pushing that hip forward. Now, keep in mind those hips get really tight, so do it at the intensity you feel comfortable. And same thing with the other side. Now we're doing it more in a static format, meaning that we're gonna hold the stretch instead of being dynamic, because the whole purpose is to just relax the muscle and just stretch it. We're not preparing for movement. So if we were doing a workout after this, we'd be doing dynamic warm-up. So we're not doing that today, okay? Once we're done there, I'm gonna go ahead and place my hands on the floor, feet up, and I'm gonna go ahead and now stretch my calves. So I'm gonna bend one foot, drive the heel into the floor as I keep my knees straight. My other foot is slightly bent, my right knee is slightly bent, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Keeping my hips up as high as I can. If you notice how I'm digging that heel into the floor, and I'm switching. Like I said, we're gonna hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds each. Once we're done there, we're gonna go ahead and walk it into the inchworm, and we're gonna go ahead and just touch the floor, keeping the knees straight, holding that position. For about 15 seconds. It's okay if you round your back, because the emphasis is on, stretching your hamstrings. Just go ahead and work in your length and your intensity comfort. Now, I like to go ahead and use the 1 to 10 scale, meaning I like to go ahead and keep it as far as uncomfortable, closer to like an 8, but not where it's painful. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way back down, and then we're gonna go on to our back, and we'll finish off with T-spine stretch. So here, bring your hands across like a T, foot up over the top and then you angle. When you grab the left hand on the outside of that foot or the thigh, I'm gonna drive it to the bottom, looking to the opposite way, driving that knee and foot all the way to the floor, looking the opposite way, so I'm really stretching the glute and a little bit of the spine. I am also gonna feel a little bit of a stretch around the chest area as I'm keeping that hand on the floor. Once I'm here, transition over. Like I said, you wanna go ahead and hold these stretch for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds, depending on how tight you are. Really reach to the outside with the left hand so you can stretch out that pec. And we'll just do one more time so you guys can go ahead and make sure you guys see it one more time. Back to the top. And that is one of my favorite static stretching flows whenever I'm feeling a little bit tight, or I just feel like I need to stretch and I don't have time to foam roll completely, or I don't want to get sweaty. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and do this as needed, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.